You want to quit and you don't want to quit. And as a creator, you are exhausted from living between those two spaces. I'm Risa, a mindset coach for creators, and I've been there. I want to tell you how I got out of there. So this is my story. About 10 years ago, my husband got a job offer in the US, and we decided to move from South Africa with 2 teenagers. I did the math when we arrived here, and I realized we were probably not going to be able to retire here. The exchange rate between the 2 countries, our age when we immigrated. So I could see that in the future, my children would make a life and a living here in the US, and my husband and I, we would have to go back to Africa, living on the other side of the world, so far from my children. And that broke my heart. So I did what any sane person would do. I started my own business. My first business was an online course I sold to South African homeschoolers. And soon I was working 60 hours a week because I had to learn so much. Facebook Lives and webinars and building an email list and building the course and doing the maintenance on it. I would respond to each and every email I got, write little essays to everybody. I would take the criticism very personal that I got, and also every suggestion. I called that being responsive, but I was drowning in other people's opinions. And though the business was a financial success, I was burning out. But then I discovered this mindset coach, and she taught me an insight about life and human emotions that changed everything for me. And that is the link between your thinking and your feelings. When you change your thinking, you change your feelings, and then you act differently. You can do more stuff. I took this advice, these insights to heart, started applying it, and sure enough, soon enough, I was working only 10 hours a week in this business, while I doubled the income from it. So that gave me time and money to get certified as a life coach. But here's what I came to see, both as a student in business coaching settings and also as a coach, as a contract coach in those settings. I was seeing that there were people who were so talented and so passionate, and yet they were not the ones who were successful. And I could see what was happening. They knew what to do, but they couldn't bring themselves so far to do it. And becoming the thought police, just think more positively, it was not cutting it for them. And for me either, to be quite honest. I was not really able to get my coaching business off the ground. Then I told myself, I know what I should do. To really get myself going, I need to get more skin in the game. I need to put more pressure on myself. So I hired a very expensive one-on-one business coach. I could barely afford this guy. But I thought that would do the trick. Now I really have to deliver. It was a complete failure. It had the opposite effect on me. It was more that I could see what I should do, but I was not doing it. He didn't really have a framework to address that issue. He didn't understand humans and human behavior and emotions enough to help me overcome that. And I can remember this one time after one of the sessions with him, I was in my walk-in closet and I was crying, and I was just depleted. I had nothing left to give. That really was the rock bottom moment for me. But then I remembered another coach that he's been on my radar. He had been on my radar for a while, but it was as if I wasn't ready for his message. It didn't land for me. His name is Michael Neal, and he has this beautiful analogy about thinking. And he's saying when you are overthinking, when you are overwhelmed, when you are even like in paralysis, you're not doing anything, the last thing you want to do is create more thinking. That's like you shaking a snow globe. You don't want more thinking when you are already not using your thinking constructively. You want less thinking. You don't want better thinking, find better thoughts. Actually, you want no thinking. You want to return to that clear space inside your soul that's before all thinking, where your true self, your best self lives. And that really, really made the difference for me. You see, what happened is I was able to step into that space, to create from that space, to live from that space. You know what? I've been wanting to start a YouTube channel and do videos for 5 years. For 5 years living in that energy of maybe someday. I'm a second language speaker of English, and I ask myself, who am I to make videos? But the minute I was there and I was able to return to this space often, I was able to just hit record and tell my story. It was amazing. The one video that I recorded from that space was why I call myself the Dragon Whisperer. You can watch it now if you wanted to. No script, no formula, just me speaking from my heart, explaining what it is that I do. Okay, but speaking about the dragon whispering thing, that was also the time when I started calling myself the Dragon Whisperer. Because here's what I came to see is that fire inside me, the passion inside me that made me work so hard and care so much. It was the same energy that was going to let me be successful. But because it was not directed in the right way, I was not leaning into it in the right way, what it was doing was it was consuming me alive from the inside. And now I have a question for you. Do you know your dragon? Because it's not the same. The dragon doesn't take the same shape for each and every one of us. For some, it's perfectionism that leads to paralysis. For others, it's overthinking and over-busyness and doing too much instead of taking a moment to think, is this the most effective thing to do? And for others, it's that comparing and despairing energy. Do you want to find out what's the most prevalent shape? What's the most dominant shape that your dragon takes? I created a quiz for you that will help you decide what's the shape my dragon has right now. I will link all the details in the description. So to return to the beginning, you want to quit, but you don't want to quit. I lived in that tension for years, and it was only once I saw that this fire in me, this dragon, I don't have to kill it. It's my creativity. It's my life force. I want to work with it. So I need to learn how to tame, train, and eventually fly it. And that is what I wanted to share with you today.